si jih morda zapišete. Lahko jih tudi zapišete v chat, jaz jih bom potem posredovala dalje ali Niku ali našemu partnerju. Lahko vprašate karkoli, lahko pa potem tudi vprašate tudi v živo, seveda, kakorkoli želite. Zdaj je to moja kratka predstavitev, nekje uvod gotov in bi kar povabila našega partnerja, da začne svojo predstavitvijo. So Bruno, my short introduction is now completed. I'd like to introduce you once more. So please tell us more about Canadian education system, more about Canadian schools, more about Ontario, more about Quebec, more about British Columbia. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, Vesna. I'll try to speak slowly, but if you have any questions that Vesna could help with, please use the chat that is at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be able to address those questions, okay? So, hi everybody. As Vesna mentioned, I'm Bruno Seixas Oliveira, and I'm the Sales and Marketing Manager for CISS. CISS is a Canadian organization. It's Canadian International Student Services, and we offer educational experience in Canada for international kids and teenagers. The organization started 42 years ago with summer camps, and we have been offering the high school program for over 20 years now. I myself, I have been in this, working with this program for almost 20 years with different organizations. And today we're going to talk about this fantastic program here in Canada. And just on a personal note, I was also a high school student in the past, I would say a few years ago. And it was really a nice, life-changing experience. Okay. So what is the high school program? The high school program has three components. The first one is the community. It's where the student is going to study. It's the location, it's the city or the town. And if it's a larger city or smaller town, what type of lifestyle they have, what opportunities are offered for the students in that region. The second one is the school where the student is going to go. The school is also an important component of the program because the student is going to spend most of his days from Monday to, or her days, from Monday to Friday, 8:30 until mid-afternoon, and then extracurricular activities in after class. So it goes until maybe 3:30, 4 p.m. And the last part of the main component is the homestay. It's where the student is going to be hosted, and that's where he's going to spend most of his time. It's where he's going to develop very important skills. That's where he's going to challenge him or herself to learn more, to adapt, to try new foods and new games and new habits of a new culture. The high school program is quite a complex program, and it involves many other aspects. So we have the relationships that are being done, these connections that we are making now in Slovenia through Vesna with you, the connections that we have with our homestays, the connections with the schools in Canada and the communities. There's the trip, the traveling part, so the flights that students need to get, the documentation that they need to prepare, the vaccines that they must prepare to come to Canada, all the care that is involved from the very beginning until the very end when the student returns home, as well as the memories that the students are going to create, the friends that they are going to make, the challenges that they are going to overcome. And it's going to be great to hear from Nick some of that at the end of our presentation. And also the duration. It is important to consider that the program has different durations. Students can come for a semester or for academic year. Some students come for the full high school experience and graduate in Canada. So there are a lot of flexibility in this sense. This is the map of Canada. We are north of the United States, and we are going to talk about essentially 4 provinces, and then we are going to focus a bit more on some specific locations and cities within that. So we work with British Columbia, which is this province on the left. Let me see if I can mark this here. Yes, so BC is on the west coast, and this is where Vancouver is the main city, Victoria is the capital. And then we have Alberta, which Calgary is the main city for the high school program. Then Ontario, which is quite a large province, but we are going to work in what is called Southern Ontario, which is this part here, where I am in Toronto, and Nick is calling us from Guelph, which is an hour from Toronto, and lastly, Quebec, which is the French-speaking province. And these are some of the locations that are available for students coming. So we are going to talk today about concentrated areas. In one option here in British Columbia, a location, and 3 different locations here near Toronto in Ontario. So the first one is Toronto. Toronto is the largest city in Canada, and it's about the size of Slovenia. So the number of people living in Toronto is similar to the number of people living in Slovenia. It is a destination. It's an option for students who want to come and enjoy the big city. But we are going just to mention Toronto, and then we are going to talk a bit more in detail about each of the locations, okay? So the first one is Guelph, where Nick is, and I'll invite Nick in a few minutes to talk about Guelph, and then Orangeville, which is a smaller city close by, then Ottawa, which is the national capital of Canada, and then Sunshine Coast, which is in British Columbia, okay? So Toronto, as mentioned, the largest city in Canada. It is today a technology hub. There is a lot of investment being done in artificial intelligence. So we are one of the key centers for artificial intelligence research in the world. There are a lot of studios being built. So the film and TV industry in Toronto is booming and growing, and great research in medicine. Insulin was discovered and studied in Canada, so big changes and impacts for the world coming from Toronto. Very vibrant city, great destination. It can be a bit overwhelming for the student who is coming, so it's for a student that wants to have the experience of a big city. Then Ottawa has about 1 million people living in the city. Despite being 1 million people in the city, it does have a small town feeling to it. It doesn't feel as overwhelming. And even the picture that we chose, you can see the difference between Toronto and Ottawa. It's a spread out city, great educational system. Being the capital means that we have a lot of representatives of the government as well as of other countries in Ottawa, which gives it a bit of sophistication and options to study great schools that will support the government, employees, as well as international diplomats and missions that are in Ottawa. On the other side that we see here at the back, this is the St. Lawrence River, and right on the other side is the province of Quebec. And here we have the National Museum of Canada, which is actually in the province of Quebec. So we are seeing Ottawa on this side, and then the other side is the province of Quebec. So this allows some bilingualism experience for the students. So they will be exposed to some French speaking as well, even though the schools are going to be in English. The schools can be Catholic or public. This is a very classic image of Ottawa. This is the Rideau Canal, which is beautiful in the summer, but even more fun in the winter for skating, and it's right downtown. So it as you can see, it does have a small town feeling to it, not very overwhelmed. Next, Guelph. Guelph is about an hour from Toronto. It's about 130,000 people. We have 3 great schools there. And Guelph also has the Guelph University, which has a huge impact in the city. But for Guelph, I would like to invite Nick to talk a little bit about it. Nick, please feel free to talk in Slovenian.
Zdravo, jaz zdaj študiram, jaz zdaj hodim v šolo v Centennial Vocational Institution, or CCVI, in Guelph, Guelph je bolj manjše mesto, čeprav ima 130,000 prebivalcev, kar je več kot Maribor. Zgleda, se ti zdi ful manjše, ker večinoma prebivalstvo je v hišah, ampak tule okolje je tako, da bi šel v ameriških filmih, imajo čist ulice, pa drugače pa ful v redu mesto. Tukaj so 3 šole, John F. Ross, CCVI, pa Guelph.
Guelph Collegiate.
Je. Pa drugač, ful mi je všeč mesto, tu je vse okoli, z prijatelji smo že šli v Toronto, ker je Toronto je samo 1 uro stran z avtom, če pa greš z vlakom, je pa 1 uro pa 20 minut, ni tako hudo. Tako da smo že tu šli s prijatelji v Toronto, smo šli okoli pogledati, je bilo ful fino, pa zraven imaš tudi Waterloo, pa Kitchener, ki sta tudi malo večji mesti. Lahko tudi greš z vlakom tja, ni problema. Pa drugač, tukaj spoznaš ful veliko ljudi, ki imajo ful veliko nacionalnosti, veliko Azijcev, vseh. Pač dobiš celotni experience, ko si v Kanadi.
Nice. Thank you, Nick. So from what I understood, you talk about the schools, and that was it, and the proximity to Toronto and Kitchener, Waterloo, right? So it's a very nice city. It's one of my favorite cities, actually, because it's not too small. It allows for students to be independent. There is public buses because of the university. The buses are available. It's not all the time. It's not very frequent, but it allows the students to have some independence and go downtown. And one thing that is quite interesting about Guelph is that Guelph is a bit ahead in the idea, and because of the university as well. There is a lot of conversations about organic food and valuing the small business, buying from the farmers market, going to small shops. There are some big shops as well, but it's the Guelph community kind of resists and values the small town feeling and the connections that are made with the people. So next, I would like to talk about Orangeville just briefly. Orangeville is part of the same area where Nick is. It's a smaller town. It's almost 30,000 people in the city. And they have 2 great schools, Orange District and Westfield, West Side, I'm sorry. It's a bit closer to Toronto in a sense, but the city is not as well connected to Toronto. So it allows the students to have a small town experience in Canada. So the picture here shows part of Orangeville. One of the cool things about Orangeville is that the sense of community is very, very strong. They have a lot of activities in the city, despite being a 30,000 people town. But they will have a lot of festivities and festivals where people get together and enjoy it as family activities. So it's a very family-friendly location. It's a great one. And last but not least for today, it's the Sunshine Coast. The Sunshine Coast is just a couple of hours from Vancouver. If you see on the map, it's going to be connected by land to Vancouver, but the easiest way to get there, it's by a beautiful ferry trip that takes you to this small location with 2 cities, Gibsons and Seixas. Beautiful by the ocean, but it's a bay, so it's not like that you have open waters there. So it's calm waters, beautiful access to Vancouver, and as you can see, the mountains, the snow caps. It's really a beautiful location as well, and also this idea of a small town, a very Canadian. It's an ideal place for students who like the outdoors, students that like mountain biking, treks, going to the beach. Not possible to go during the full year because of the cold weather, but just a lot of activities there, great schools as well. So I'll talk about schools now. Do we have any questions on the chat so far? Have you seen any, Vesna?
No, not really. No, thank you.
Okay, all right. So the schools in Canada, and this doesn't matter where we are talking about, the schools are very diverse, in the sense that the schools, I understand that Slovenia has different types of schools according to the practice that the students want, or what the students want to proceed after high school. But here the schools welcome students from all paths. So this is really interesting because it allows for students who are going into the trades or hospitality or construction to be in the same school and have great quality and great education as the students who are doing IB program, who are doing advanced placement to go to university. So it shows the diversity and the collaboration and the society as a whole by being diverse and getting students from different countries and different faiths as well. So the schools need to welcome every student. They're very inclusive. So the schools are developed to have students integrate whatever need they have. So there are policies that are done to respect and to promote inclusiveness. And when things don't go according to plan, there will be an approach to fix things. So it's not, the schools do not encourage, and on the other hand, they prevent bullying from happening. And it's quite interesting, and it's very holistic. They want the students to graduate with different information as well. So for a student to graduate, they need to take English, math, every year that they are in school. But for social science, they have to take some. They'll have to take some business. They'll have to do volunteer work. They will have to do physical education. So there are some requirements that will, the idea is to form a more holistic human being as well before they go into university or college or to the workforce. It's one of the best educations in the world. It is the best education according to the OCDE. Of the English-speaking countries, it's the best ranked system in math, reading or the language, and science as well. So all the three areas, Canada ranks really well in all of them. It's very personalized, so each student gets their own study path. So Nick has a schedule that is different from all his colleagues at school, all his classmates. So in his first period, he is with a set of people, and then the second period, he might have one or two people in the same class as him, but every single person gets a personalized program to meet their own goals, their individual goals. Students can select a variety of course. So this is quite exciting, especially from students that come from Slovenia and other countries that have a set number of subjects. So they'll be able to do photography, marketing. Nick, what courses are you taking? You're taking two very cool courses.
Zdaj, ker je bila korona, imamo samo 2 predmeta, ne. V Sloveniji rečeš, greš v gimnazijo, imaš 13 predmetov naenkrat, ne. Ampak tu pa imaš samo 2 predmeta naenkrat in ko jih končaš, jih potem za celo leto nimaš in potem okoli naslednje leto imaš jih spet. V šoli je 12 razredov, zdaj sem jaz v drugem kvadmestru, ampak ko ni bilo korone, si imel 4 predmete. za prejšnji kvadmester, ne, imaš 4 kvadmestre zdaj. Prejšnji kvadmester sem imel biologijo pa marketing, ne, ker si lahko izbereš svoje predmete. To je ena izmed boljših stvari v tem šolskem sistemu, da si lahko izbereš svoje predmete. Če imaš rad biznis, si izbereš marketing ali pa podjetništvo ali pa accounting. Če pa imaš bolj rad fotografsko ali pa slikarstvo, pa si izbereš slikarske predmete. Jaz sem se odločil, da bom se usmeril v biznis in sem si tudi izbral biznis stvari, ampak vseeno sem si pa izbral še biologijo, pa angleščino, pa matematiko, ki jo seveda rabiš imeti, da dokončaš srednjo šolo. Tako da šola v bistvu, kaj še lahko rečem, še dolgo nisem govoril slovensko, je malo težko. Ja, v bistvu šola, če imaš nekaj rad, si lahko si izbereš tudi avtomehaničarstvo, če ti je všeč, ker imajo tudi avtomehaničarsko delavnico v šoli, ali pa computer engineering, ali pa computer science, lahko si izbereš čisto, kar ti je všeč in imaš drugačne predmete kot tvoji prijatelji, ker tvoj urnik je narejen samo za tebe.
Okay, Nick, did you mention about the courses? Do you know the courses that you're taking for the second semester?
Yes, I'm taking accounting, English, math 12th grade. So now I have
Nice.
math 11th grade university. And then in next semester I'll take grade 12. So next year I don't have to take it. And have accounting, English, computer engineering, and
business, right? Or marketing?
Yeah, I already took marketing and biology.
Yes, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Cool, great, thank you. So here are some images of the schools. These are all public schools. So we have the entrance of one of the schools, which is in Barrie, close to Toronto. This is also inside Barrie. This is a theater. Usually the theaters are quite interesting, and some schools will have drama as a course, but there are schools that have musical theater as well. There are schools with music, and when we are talking about music, there are courses in vocal music, strings. It can be for the piano. So there are different paths students can take. If this is the need of a specific need of a student, it's very important that you talk to Vesna, because then we are going to start the consultation process to find the school that is right for the student to meet those needs, okay, or those interests. They might not be needs. One part of the education in Canadian schools are sports and clubs. So the gyms are quite nice in the schools, usually very big. Centennial has a good gym, very nice gym. A lot of schools will have weight rooms. They'll have a track and soccer and football field. This is the ski club, actually. So it's snowshoeing and cross-country ski. So there are a lot of options of sports and as well as clubs. Nick, are you joining any of the sports or any clubs right now?
Now, because of Corona, there isn't that many clubs. They're getting introduced to the system, the system.
Yes.
But the time schedule for the clubs is really weird. For Centennial, it's like in the lunch break, we have 1 hour from 11:40 to 12:40 is our recess. And between that time, the clubs are operating in that period of time.
Yeah.
Some there are afterwards, but most of the time I joined the DECA club, which is business club, but that's mostly it. Because I go with my friends, I go to the mall and just eat.
Yes, nice.
My lunch with my friends.
And any sports?
Not I mean, I tried for volleyball, but I didn't make it though.
Oh, okay.
And no, really, there is like if you get into the team or you like sports, there's a lot of time you can be in that sport. You can spend a lot of time in the gym if you want to.
Mhm.
But I signed up for this private gym. I
Okay.
found a gym near my house and I go there 4 times a week.
Okay, nice. So yes, after class, as Nick's talking that he goes to the gym 4 times a week, it's great to for students to do something after school. It keeps them busy. It keeps them engaged with the community. If it's something at school, they're at the clubs, you're going to meet other students that have similar interests to you. If it's a sport, you are going to bond with those students. And even I'm sure at the gym, Nick, you probably go with friends at times, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why you go to the private gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of clubs. I don't even know every club because there's so many of it, and there
Yeah.
will come more. And there's a lot of clubs basically.
Yes, true. All right, thank you, Nick. So continuing here, these are some, this is a library, or what is now called Learning Commons in Canada. Most of the libraries became Learning Commons. Here, this picture is to show that even though some schools might be older, it doesn't mean that they won't be super well equipped internally. So they will have computer labs and the chemistry labs, and even some of the libraries are going to be very modern and updated. Next, we have additional programs that are different for the students from Slovenia and other countries. So you have the music, you have the car shop, the auto repair shop. So students will learn how to fix the car. There are some that they will even build a car from scratch. So this is something that might be of interest for people who are considering engineering in the future. We have health and wellness classes, which will involve some cooking. There is culinary arts, there is hospitality. So schools will have different programs, and a lot of the arts as well, visual arts, arts media, and different areas. And there are some classics. Nick, do you walk or do you take the bus to school?
I walk to school.
Okay.
Before it was cold, I usually took the bike.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
And how long of a walk is it?
Oh, it's 20 minutes. It's not that much.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
I'm really close to the school.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem for
And
me.
it's very common, right? When you're going to school, there are a lot of other kids doing the same, right?
Yeah, most of the kids take a bus.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, if you're around here near the school, you usually take a bike or just walk to school.
Very nice. And students can use the lockers to put, now that the winter starts, to put their coats, to put their, hold on. We have somebody in the waiting room. Let me admit them. And then they can put their coats or their snowshoes, their larger boots here, and keep the books in the lockers. This is a classic North American image, and robotics, and very diverse. So talking about now the homestay part of the process. CISS looks after that part. The families are going to be a very important part of the experience, and they are very carefully screened and trained. All the families need to meet a certain criteria. We have many more applications than we have actual families, because we understand some of them would not be able to provide the experience that we want for the kids, especially considering that they are teenagers and that they're coming from other countries. We want them to be connected and to do it for the right reason. So we do our best to match some of the characteristics that you provide on the application, for both sides, for both the students and the families. And the earlier you apply, and more open you are, the better for us to find the best suitable family for you. So these are two things that play a big role, being flexible and open to this experience as well as doing it in advance. And next we have Nick's family in Guelph. I think this was very early to his arrival. So all the families that we have need to provide a private room for the students. Nick, are you talking from your bedroom or from somewhere in the home?
Yeah, I'm talking from my bedroom now.
Okay.
There's also one Italian Italian
Giovanni?
student. Yeah, Giovanni.
Yes.
He's also here.
Nice.
with me.
But you have a private room, right?
Yeah, this is my room. I mean, I could show you around, but it's a little bit messy. So
No, don't worry. It's just to confirm that it is a private room.
Yes.
It needs a place to study. So he's talking from his desk. And it's 3 meals a day. So families need to provide meals. And also, the family will need to support the student in welcoming him and making him part of the family and the community. The families that we recruit, our intention is to have families that will support the student, that will welcome them, that will do some activities with them, that will engage, look after them, make sure that they're safe, make sure that they're having a good time, do some activities of their lifestyle, but these activities can vary a lot. So you can have more active families, more outdoors, or families that like traveling or taking small day trips, or you can have families that are pretty quiet and will stay home and play games at home. So this varies a lot according to the style of the family. Now, one thing that is very important for us is that Canada is a multicultural country, so we don't consider any sizes or shapes or colors of families. So they might be of smaller. Here you see that Nick has host brothers and has both parents, a host father and a host mother. Some students will stay in families with no kids the same age, or with children, or with no kids, and it can be an older couple that had their kids living at home and now they don't live anymore, or it can be a single person as well. So it varies a lot in the size. We try to match the style of the student and the family. So the host family is the most challenging, but it's a part of the program, but it's also the most rewarding. The connections that students make are really, really interesting. I still keep in touch with my host family after many years of having been in the program. And it's part of the educational process. You should think of the host family as part of learning skills, learning to negotiate, learning to give up on certain things, learning to make your voice heard when you think it is important that you are heard. So these are abilities that you're going to learn during this experience. And one interesting thing about being with another international student in the home is that you end up learning about another culture. And Nick, when you talk about your host family, I would like you to briefly talk about their own background, because being in Canada and being multicultural, it would be interesting how many cultures you're learning from Giovanni, from your host family, and from Canada all combined. Now, there are times that students need to move. Sometimes it's not a fit. It's not a good fit. We understood it would be a great fit, but sometimes the family and the students don't get along, and this could be improved. So when this happens, and of course, we want the students to be safe, and this is very, very important throughout. So if there are issues concerning safety, we are going to move the students quite fast. But if it's not working out, we are going to work together for a new family, a new match. And then this process can take a little bit, because we need to find a family that is going to be a good fit in the area where the student studies, so we can make this move. Okay. Now, just to review regarding the important things in the program. So community, school, and homestay. You can choose any point of entry when you are considering your program in Canada. So if you need a family that will be very outdoorsy or plays hockey, because you play hockey and you want the family to play hockey, we are going to try to find a family that plays hockey, and then that will determine what school the student is going to go in the community. If you want a school that offers a great vocal music program, this is going to be your entry point, because this is probably the most important thing for you. And then you're going to choose the school, and then we're going to find a family in that close to the school and the community. And the community, if you want a smaller city or a larger city, you can choose the community, and then we're going to find a school and a homestay that is great for you. The more open you are to any of these, the easier the experience is going to be, and the more flexible. Because when you tell us that you want to go to a community and you have two schools like Guelph, and you have two schools of preference, let's say Centennial and Guelph Collegiate, we have a big pool of families to choose from. If you're telling us that you can only go to this school that has a piano, a grand piano that you need to practice, the number of families is going to be more limited. And then we need to compromise in the style, in some characteristics of the student and the family to make that happen. So the best situation is when we have openness for the three of them, but at the same time, you can indicate preferences, and we are going to work on them. But if there are requirements that need to be worked on, we will work on them, okay? So I would like to have Nick now, and Vesna is going to ask questions in Slovenian, so you can all easily understand and be very, very comfortable in the conversation. Please feel free to send us any questions that you have.
Ja, verjetno vse najbolj zanima, zakaj se je Nik sploh odločil za šolanje v Kanadi. Namreč vem, da je najprej prišel do nas z željo, da potuje v Ameriko. No, potem se je pa zadeva nekje obrnila.
Ja, prvo sem hotel iti sam za prvo je bil plan, da grem za pol leta samo v Kanado, ampak ko sem videl, da je tu boljše, ne, 1 leto prej bi končal šolo, lahko si izberem svoje predmete, biznis, tudi malo meni osebno je malo lažje. Druga sem pa prvo hotel iti v Ameriko, ampak nisem dobil, ni bil tisti občutek, veš, da je to. In sem še vprašal Vesno, če ima slučajno kaj v Kanadi, kakšna je situacija v Kanadi, in potem sem se odločil za Kanado. Drugače pa prvo sem hotel iti za pol leta samo, od 1. septembra do 29. januarja, ampak sem se odločil, zakaj pa ne, sej, nimam nič za izgubiti.
Zdaj, kaj pa je tista, ja, mi smo zdaj že seveda, Nik je že podaljšal, za Nika se že ve, da ostane, pa da bo končal srednjo šolo v Kanadi. Zdaj, kaj pa bi ti rekel, da je največja razlika med šolo v Sloveniji, v Kanadi, ne vem, zdaj predmete smo že rekli, ne, tu jih izbereš, čeprav vseeno moraš imeti določeno število, oziroma določene predmete, če želiš pridobiti srednješolsko diplomo, ampak kaj je tisto, kar se ti zdi, da ti tukaj mogoče bolj ustreza, kaj ti tukaj manj ustreza, kaj je, ne vem, mogoče med učitelji, kakšna razlika je? Mogoče pri ocenjevanju, pri sami učnih urah, kaj se ti zdi, da je drugače v Kanadi?
Prejšnje leto sem jaz hodil v srednjo šolo na Seixas, na gimnazijo, in smo imeli, in je bilo zaradi korone, sicer je bilo, se veste, kak je bilo, ampak je bilo ful veliko predmetov. V Sloveniji imaš 13 predmetov, kot sem že rekel, in testi so pač ful je drugačen sistem kot pa tukaj. Tu te bolj glede na to, kako sodeluješ pri pouku, ali pa pri prezentaciji, veliko projektov je tu, kar mi je zelo všeč, ko pa samo, da bi teste pisal, pa da bi bil vprašan. Kakšno je že bilo drugo vprašanje? Sem pozabil.
To si rekel zdaj, da je manj testov, pa več projektov, se pravi, to se sproti tudi oceni. Se pravi, tvoje sodelovanje, vse skupaj je sestavlja končno oceno, ne?
Ja. Moraš pa tudi imeti, naprimer, ker je tu osnova, da greš na univerzo ali pa vsaj v college, je dobro, da si vzameš predmete, za katere misliš, da boš šel na college, ampak vseeno si še lahko spremeniš svojo situacijo. Lahko rečeš, greš v guidance office, pa rečeš, jaz ne bi rad imel kemije, pa bi raje imel fiziko, pa ne rabiš sploh imeti kemije. Naprimer, jaz ne bom kemije vzel sploh, tako da pa slovenščine ni, to je najboljša to je najboljša stvar glede tega. Drugače pa meni osebno je tu boljše, ker res se vzamejo za tebe, učitelji se vzamejo za tebe, te vprašajo, kje si, kak si, tudi pogovarjaš se bolj prijavljeno, ni samo učitelj pa učenec, pa tudi boljše učijo, ne naučijo samo to pomeni to in ti ne dajo razlage, prav grejo s tabo, če imaš vprašanje, ti razložijo vse, ful so za tebe tukaj. In to je drugače kot v Sloveniji.
Kako pa si se ti navadil tega, da dejansko nimaš svoje razredne skupnosti, ne? To je prej smo slišali, da v bistvu vsak dijak ima svoj urnik, z enimi, rečemo, dijaki si skupaj pri enem predmetu, pri drugem si z drugimi, z tretjimi. Koliko ti to pogrešaš? Ker tukaj pa so vseeno imeli en razred, ki je bil skupaj od jutra do popoldneva, ne?
Ja, tu je malo drugače, ampak sej, jaz sem si našel svojo skupino prijateljev, večina jih je Kitajcev, pa en Japonc, pa en Nemec, ko so vsi international studenti, in se spoznaš, malo pogrešamo to, da nismo vsi skupaj ena skupina, ampak spoznaš enega, preko njega spoznaš drugega in potem si najdeš svojo skupino in večina tako v bistvu deluje ta krog prijateljstva tukaj.
Ampak kakorkoli že, ne, čist vse, zdaj ne bomo pa rekli, da je vse pa krasno in vseeno si imel ti sigurno take ali drugačne, zdaj bom rekla, ali težave, ali probleme, ali kaj je bilo tisto, kar recimo ti je največ težav povzročalo, ali pa ti še povzroča, kaj je tista zadeva, na katero bi pa ti nekoga, ki mogoče razmišlja o tem, da bi šel, ne, kakšni so ti izzivi, ki jih pa vseeno tam prinaša vse skupaj, ker vse pa sigurno ni čist gladko, ker vas toliko že poznam, ti, ki ste naokrog, ne?
Ja, sej, problem je, če ne narad govoriš, ali pa če nisi odprt, je ful težko si najti prijatelje, ker v razredu ni taka skupina kot v Sloveniji. Ne nas se toliko menijo, sošolci pa nimaš skupaj na Instagramu ali kaj takega. Tako da včasih moraš biti malo bolj odprt, pa tudi mene je ful skrbelo za host family. Me je ful skrbelo, kakšno bom dobil, ali bom v redi dobil, če bom v redi dobil. Ampak na koncu so ful v redu. Irena je njej ime, ful dobro kuha, tako da nikoli nisem lačen, no. Več pa moraš malo biti pozoren na kaj si izbereš, pa malo moraš biti odprt pri ljudeh. Če hočeš malo več prijateljstv najti ali pa kaj takega, no. Se pa moraš tudi malo znajti okoli. Mene so prvo vpisali v 10. letnik po pomoti in sem mogel iti tja in sem rekel, če me lahko date v 11. letnik, ne, ampak če ne bi tega vprašal, bi še kar bil v 10. letniku. Po pomoti, no, sej bi že nekaj rekel. Drugače pa premikanje po mestu je malo teže, ker tu je vse na dolge distance, velike ceste imajo tu, ne, ulica v Sloveniji je mala, ampak tu imaš dvopasovnico ulico. Drugače se imaš avtobus, ampak moraš malo raziskovati, kak prideš od točke A do B, moraš malo sistem avtobusov dojeti. Drugače pa to je v bistvu to, kar kar bi bilo slabo. Nič v bistvu ni slabo, samo moraš si organizirati vse, da si za sebe narediš dobro.
Kaj pa sploh izgleda tvoj dan, recimo?
Dnevi tu ful hitro minijo, tako
Ja.
ful hitreje so, kot v Sloveniji. Šola se nam začne ob 9:10, kar lahko spim dlje, ker v Sloveniji sem se mogel vstajati 5:45, da sem prišel v Maribor šolo. Tu pa enkrat sem spal do 48, sem po pomoti zaspal, pa sem vseeno prišel do pouka. Tako da vstanem se zjutraj, grem v šolo, šola traja do 3:10, in potem ali imaš klube, jaz večinoma krat grem s prijatelji ven, ali gremo v Tim Hortons ali pa v Starbucks, gremo okoli malo pogledat. Včasih gremo še biljard igrat v downtown, v center, ampak pa tako prijem domov, imamo večerjo tu, pa včasih grem na fitness pred večerjo, pa po večerji, pa že tako konc dneva, pa že tako greš spat.
Ampak imel si pa tudi eno tako izkušnjo, da čisto na začetku šel malo v bolnico, celo pogledati kanadsko.
Bolnico, pa nekaj sem imel na želodcu, po moje sem imel vneč želodec, tega so me raje peljali v bolnico za vsak slučaj, host family, pa so me tam videli, ampak po sem že tako bil boljši, ko sem čakal v tistem emergency centru. Po smo samo šli.
To je tudi del, v bistvu družina, gostiteljska družina dejansko skrbi za vse. Če je treba, ne vem, se je slabo počutil, jaz sem po naslednji dan to izvedela, v bolnico, k zdravniku, kamorkoli, skratka, kot da so res starši. Rekel si, da tale tvoja gospa fajn kuha.
Ful dobro kuha.
Ampak se lahko ti kaj zmeniš tudi, če česa ne maraš ali česa ne maraš?
Ja, vedno me vpraša, imaš rad to, nimaš, jaz večinoma krat vse jem, ampak moja najljubša hrana je azijska hrana. Te včasih naredi nudle za malco, ko v šoli ješ malco, si prineseš, od doma si večinoma ljudi prinese malco in včasih mi naredi nudle ali pa dumplinge, kar je ful vredi, ne, ker se te vprašajo pa rečejo, če imaš rad to ali pa če nimaš rad, so fleksibilni.
Ja, imela bi še eno vprašanje, mogoče nismo to čisto, ne vem, mogoče kdo ni razumel. Ti si rekel, da delaš matematiko zdaj iz letnika 12, ne? To je bistvena razlika tudi med nami pa med Kanado.
Zdaj delam letnik 11, ker imaš matematiko, ker je veliko ljudi, naprimer, če nisi dober v matematiki, lahko izbereš drugačen level matematike. Je university matematika, druga je pa college matematika in college matematika je bolj lažja, kot pa university matematika. Jaz sem si izbral university, ker z njo lahko priješ na univerzo, ne. In potem lahko pa tudi v drugem semestru. Naprimer, zdaj imam jaz matematiko 11. letnik, potem čez nekaj mesecev bom imel matematiko 12. letnik. In lahko že letos končam matematiko, da drugo leto ne rabim imeti matematike več. In v bistvu ti samo končaš predmete do 12. letnika in potem jih ne rabiš več imeti. Ni tako v Sloveniji.
To je razlika, da v bistvu lahko imajo dijaki iz 11. letnika določene predmete skupaj z dijaki iz 12. letnika, če se kdo ni odločil, pač da bi imel, oziroma njih se odločil, da bi imel v drugem semestru, nekateri so si pa pustili matematiko, pa jo bo imeli drugo leto v 12. Se pravi, da to je tisto, rečemo, to je tisto, da nisi z razredom skozi skupaj, ampak dejansko dijaki iz različnih letnikov celo lahko pridejo na isti nivo določenega predmeta, ne. Se pravi, dijak 11. letnika in dijak 12. letnika imajo lahko skupaj matematiko na nivoju 12. se pravi na višjem nivoju, ne. Seveda moraš biti zadosti dober. Nik, kakšne težave si pa imel, zdaj rečemo tole angleščina, to je pa sigurno en na začetku, ne?
V bistvu se ful hitro navadiš, zdaj, če že znaš angleško govoriti, tako sem že jaz znal, je lažje, ampak če ne znaš tako dobro govoriti angleško, je malo težje, ampak se navadiš, ker vse okoli tebe se govori v angleščini, ne, in nimaš izbire, ko pa da govoriš angleško in se hitro navadiš. Jaz sem se hitro navadil, sicer z mojimi kitajskimi prijatelji včasih uporabljam pokvarjeno angleščino, kar ni tako fejst dobro, ampak je, kar je. Drugače pa angleško se navadiš govoriti. Jaz sploh ne več razmišljam, kako se kaj reče, pač odgovorim v angleščini. Tako na meni ni več problem tega, pa tudi mislim, da vam tudi ne bo problem, če prijete sem.
Hvala, Nik. Zdaj bi pa jaz mogoče odgovorila na par vprašanj, ker sem jih tukaj v chatu zasledila, in sicer, če se da srednjo šolo nadaljevati v Kanadi, trenutno obiskujem 1. letnik. Ja, vsekakor, ne. Zdaj, če obiskuješ 1. letnik, pol je zdaj to tako, v Kanadi to je 10. letnik pri njih, ne. Se pravi, možnosti sta dve, ne. Lahko greš v 11. in 12. in potem tam zaključiš, se pravi, 1 leto prej kot v Sloveniji, brez kakršne koli težave, ne. Potem, kdaj je treba oddati prijavo, če bi začel obiskovati 2. letnik v Kanadi septembra? Bruno?
Yes.
Now I would have a question. If a student would like to start in September, when should they apply? Or is there still a chance to start in January?
It's
January
February.
2022.
Yes, so it's late January. If this is a possibility for the student, I think it's Otis who asked this.
Otis is asking about, well, I have no idea when.
Okay.
He would like to start. It's Jiva.
Jiva, okay.
Yeah.
So if Jiva is considering coming in January, I would recommend talking to you, and we would need her date of birth, what grade she's in, and all this. It's going to be a bit rushed and with very few options, but we might be able to have her here in February. But for September, enrollment's already open. So depending on the destination that the student want, if it's one of the very popular destinations like North Vancouver, Burnaby, which are very popular, I would recommend sending the applications as soon as possible, like book now and send the applications in 2-3 weeks at the most, because it's going to be very busy. Now, I would recommend, because we are anticipating for it to be a very busy time for September next year, to apply early next year, like January, February at the latest. We might be able, I think what's going to happen is there will be options, but not as many options. The places are going to close, and then the sooner they decide and the sooner they apply, the more options they will have in destination and schools and all that.
Thank you. Potem pa je še eno vprašanje, kako je potem z nadaljnjim šolanjem, če se vrnete nazaj v Slovenijo. Zdaj je takle, nikoli še ni bilo nikakršnih težav, če je nekdo šel v šolanju recimo v Kanado ali v Ameriko ali celo v Anglijo ali na Irsko, septembra in se je vrnil potem po prvem semestru v tujini. Ne? Res pa je, da preden se prijavimo na šolanje v tujino, je obvezno se potrebno dogovoriti s šolo, to tudi Nik ve, zato ker smo se tam tudi z šolo dogovarjali, ne? Ker je Nik najprej načrtoval, da bo prišel nazaj. Zdaj je tako, da če prideš nazaj, pomeni, da šola običajno naredi en osebni načrt, izobraževalni načrt, kar pomeni, da potem, ko prideš nazaj, malo primerjajo vsebine, ki si jih nekje osvojil v tujini in potem se primerja s tem, kar pomeni to z slovenskim učnim načrtom, določene stvari priznajo, kakšni so potem tudi odgovarjali, kaj za nazaj, ampak nihče še ni letnika zaradi tega izgubil, oziroma tudi, če so celo leto preživeli, sploh recimo v Angliji, kjer je čisto drugačen sistem, so kakšne manjkajoče predmete potem poleti naredili izpite, pa so se normalno pisali za svojim letnikom naprej. Glede tehle ocen je pa tako, da ocene se preračunavajo. Ne obstaja ena tale lestvica, po kateri se ocene preračunajo. Zdaj, če gre nekdo samo za nekje 2-3 mesece, potem ne pride z ocenami nazaj, se ne preračunavajo, medtem ko če gre pa za pol leta, pa se preračunajo. Ne, mi smo zdaj dobili prve ocene, dobro, Nikovih še nisem šole dobila, ampak z drugih kanadskih šol pa smo že dobili nekje reports naših dijakov in jaz moram reči, vsi delajo odlično. Ocene so drugačne kot tukaj, ne, so A, B, C, D, pa potem procentualne vrednosti. Ne.
Jaz sem že dobil nazaj ocene drugače.
Jaz jih pa nisem dobila.
Lahko ti zdaj tu povem.
Ja, ne, tako da nikoli ni težav, je pa res, da vedno se tako dijak kot njihovi starši, pa mi se vedno povežemo z šolo, jim razložimo. Ene šole recimo imajo malo več izkušenj s tem, druge malo manj. Ne? Zdaj, Maša, če sem to odgovorila, kar si vprašala, roki prijav za 2 meseca, drugi letnik, če bi šla septembra ali januarja, absolutno noben problem. Jaz bi samo rekla, tako kot je Bruno povedal, odvisno od tega, kam bi želeli iti, je malo odvisno, koliko hitro se je potrebno prijaviti. Recimo British Columbia, se pravi tam del preko, zahodni del Kanade, rečemo, da je zelo, zelo priljubljen pri dijakih. Moramo vedeti, da ne prihajajo samo Slovenci, ampak tudi tuji dijaki, ne vem, Italijani, Španci, Japonci, Nemci, skratka cel svet, in Kanada je v primerjavi z, ne vem, mogoče 10 leti nazaj, bom rekla, kar bolj priljubljena kot Amerika. Ne? Cenovno je drugačna in tudi jaz mislim, da host families v Kanadi so, zdaj nočem delati nobene krivice nikomor, ampak jaz bi rekla, če nekdo razmišlja, da bi šel na javno šolo z nastanitvijo pri družinah gostiteljskih, pol mislim, da je Kanada prava izbira, definitivno. Ne? Če pa govorimo o zasebnih šolah, teh v Kanadi ni toliko, te pa so potem, ne vem, Anglija ali pa Amerika. Zdaj, če se gre za 2 meseca, v bistvu prijava se lahko da kadarkoli. Jaz bi vseeno predlagala, da se mogoče začne razmišljati tamle, ali pa vsaj na grobo razmišljati mogoče tamle po novem letu. Ne? Zato, da se tudi v šoli za šolo lahko nekje normalno dogovorimo. Ne? Lahko se gre, tako kot sem rekla tukaj, za 1 mesec, za 2 meseca, za 3 mesece, za 5 mesecev, je pa dejstvo, da če greste za 4 tedne, recimo, to tudi nekatere šole omogočajo, to ne bo prava izkušnja, zato ker jaz mislim, da bo Nik povedal, da 4 mesece rabiš, da se komaj malo navadiš in to ne bo taka izkušnja, kot bi bila, če ostaneš. Jaz mislim, da je 3 mesece tisti minimum, da padeš.
Da padeš, da se najdeš tu. Rabiš nekaj časa.
Ja. Težko vprašanje, koliko stane tako šolanje, ne? Zdaj je takle, da cene so zelo, zelo, zelo različne. Jaz bi zdaj, ker zdaj ne vem, Otis, za koliko časa, ne, ampak ja, odvisno za koliko časa se gre, ne. Jaz lahko povem, da celo šolsko leto je malo odvisno od province, kje si, recimo, ne vem, Ontario je tam mogoče okrog 20,000 evrov, ne vem, pol pa je ena druga zadeva, vam bom povedala, recimo Nova Škotska je, ne vem, 14,000, 8 tednov recimo je od 3,000, pa še malo naprej, tako da, ne, se pravim, 8 tednov tam lahko računate, 2 meseca, se pravi, je tam okrog 3,5 recimo pride, ne. To pomeni in šolanje, in nastanitev, in prehrana, in to, da te pride družina poiskat na letališče, te pelje potem nazaj, tu nekje so najnižje cene, ne, ampak se pravim, je odvisno od province, kam greste, ne, Ontario pa British Columbia sta nekje dražji, Alberta je malo bolj ugodna, ne vem, te kake malo še bolj bogo za hrbtom so pa malo ugodnejše, ne. Če lahko stanujemo pri sorodnikih namesto pri host family, ja, seveda lahko, ne, če imamo v Kanadi kakega sorodnika, potem absolutno se da tam stanovati, ne.
If I got this, sorry, Vesna, if I got this right, it's a question about staying with relatives, is that correct?
Right,
Okay.
right.
So it is possible, but we need to know, it is very important that the student provides the address of the family and that the family is willing to take the custodianship, which is a very important part of the program.
Right. I know that, for example, sometimes in the United States, it is even not possible, you know, you need a legal guardian, for example, even if you have a relative there. So it's always the question of, we should discuss this.
Yes, absolutely. It is possible, but we need to discuss. That's correct.
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions? I don't think I have missed something here. Yeah, glede prijave, I mean regarding the application. Mi imamo na naši spletni strani eno predprijavo, ki se lahko izpolni, to je popolnoma neobvezujoče. Lahko nam pošljete na mail to everyone, lahko nam pošljete na mail info@lta.si. Kakršnakoli vprašanja v zvezi z šolanjem, karkoli. Mi običajno na tak način delamo, da se z vsakim, ki ga to zanima, slišimo, pogovorimo in tudi vsakemu pripravimo kakšen, ne, 1, 2, 3 predloge glede na njihove želje. Tako kot je Bruno povedal, ne, v odvisnosti od tega, ali želite kakšen poseben predmet na šoli, zdaj lahko je to musical, lahko je to drama, lahko je to aviacija, lahko je to, ne vem, pomorska, ne vem, marine biology, lahko je, ne vem, karkoli že, ne, tole nekaj z lesom. Skratka, na osnovi tega ali izberemo šolo, ali želite v nek določen predel, ali pa želite, se ukvarjati, ne vem, želite res družino, ki se ukvarja z alpinizmom, ali pa z veslanjem, ali pa z kolesarjenjem, karkoli, na osnovi tega potem vam pripravimo predloge. Zdaj, če pa nimate nobenih posebnih zahtev, potem pa vas mi moramo vprašati, da vidimo, ne, kaj vas vseeno najbolj zanima, pa vam potem pripravimo. Običajno ta postopek prijave same na šolo je kar nekaj časa traja, Nik lahko pove, ne, da to ni kar tako, da izpolniš en list, ampak je kar vam pa res, tu vam pa res pomagamo, ne, ker je kar, ne, sploh tisti, ki greste za dlje časa, recimo, ne, je treba urediti tudi študijsko vizo in ta sam, morajo že letos, ker je bil drugačen postopek, zaradi covida, Kanada popolnoma vse spremenila, mislim, da ni bilo nikogar, ki bi sam vložil zahtevek za pridobitev te študijske vize, ne, tako da to vam vse uredimo. Še kakšno vprašanje mogoče? Ne. Zdaj, če ni več nikakršnega vprašanja, popolnoma nič, če se slučajno še karkoli spomnite, nam napišite, nas kontaktirajte, lahko nas pokličete, pa vam bomo seveda z veseljem odgovorili, pripravili kakšne ponudbe, kakšne predloge, če boste imeli kakšno specifično vprašanje, bomo posredovali vprašanje do Nika tudi, če želite, ali pa direktno v Kanado. Jaz bi se vam po tem trenutku zahvalila, ker ste si vzeli čas. Mi vam bomo tudi posredovali po mailu, smo posneli to predstavitev, tako da si lahko potem še kakršnokoli zadevo nazaj zavrtite. In to je to za danes. Najlepša hvala in lahko noč. Bruno?
Yes?
Yes, Bruno, there are no questions there, so I would like to thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you and Nick.
This meeting and both,
Nice to meet you.
Nick, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All the best, and
Yeah.
we're looking forward to seeing you again and to meeting you again.
Yeah,
Live
I'm going back in December.
or online.
I'm
Okay,
going
and
back to
thank-
Slovenia in
Okay.
December, I think.
Okay. So, and thank you everybody who joined us and stayed until now, because it's really good to see that everybody stayed and was engaged and asking questions. So thank you very much for making the time today, and have a great evening in Slovenia.
Yeah.
And a good
Oh, no.
day in Guelph.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a good day,
Thank you.
Toronto. Thank you, both of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.